Raquel TV, and I'm here sitting with Jim Florentine, who just came out with a new book called Everybody is Awful Except You, and we're here at Book Soup.
Yeah, I liked it. You know, you never know when you're going to do a signing and people are going to show up, especially a Sunday.
Yeah.
They said Sunday's usually slow, but they were really happy with the crowd, so it was great.
You got a lot of that metal show guys
I figured they would.
Asking the questions.
But it's good because it kind of fills the time, you know, because you don't know sometimes, you know, it's over in like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, the Q&A or the readings, or they're not going that well. So you want to fill time in with that stuff too. So it worked out perfect.
Smart, you've been doing this for a while, so you kind of know.
Yeah, you kind of feel it.
What inspired you to write this book, and how many years of material have you been gathering, you said?
Well, I do a podcast every week called Comedy Metal Midgets, and I do basically rant on the podcast. The podcast listeners will send an email of any like social media stuff or anything that they don't think I would be easy for me to rant on, and I go through it and I just talk about it. So the book is basically based on the podcast.
Okay.
It's like rants transcribed into a book.
And then it outlines like your life, like when you started as a kid. Was that something you've been thinking about doing?
Well, because we weren't sure if it was going to be, you know, a memoir or if it was just going to be, you know, jokes. So we did a little of both. I start off a chapter telling a little story, a funny story of how I got on like a TV show or something like that, and then I go into more of the social media stuff.
How come that this whole, you know, everyone is not amazing? You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you do. You probably do.
I love. As a kid, you know, what was your fascination with prank calling, and why'd you get into it?
Because I was always in trouble. I was always grounded. I went to Catholic school, so I was a rebel. There were 7 kids, you know, so I was always causing problems. So I was always, you know, my mom would say, you have to stay in for the next 3 days after school. So I was just bored, so I'd pick up the phone and I would just make prank phone calls. Because there wasn't any, you know, I didn't have a phone, there was no internet or anything like that. So you really just, you know, were bored staring at walls. So I'd pick up the phone and just mess with people.
Who were your first prank calls to?
Well, there was one girl in our 7th grade class. I tell the story in the book. Me and my friend Tony. She had big tits. So we found a number in the phone book. We go, "Hi, Donna. We're taking a national survey. How big are your breasts?" And she's like, "Is this Tony and Jim?" And we're like, "Oh!" And we hung up really quick, and we saw her the next day in the school.
That's
and she's
awesome.
like, "You perverts!"
And what
They were huge. I'll never forget them.
We all like big tits, don't we?
Sure, absolutely. And they were real too. She was in 7th grade, so they definitely were real.
And what's the worst trouble you got as a kid from like an adult? Like you went to Catholic school, your mom's super religious.
Yeah.
Punishment.
Yeah, punishment definitely, but then nothing crazy. I've never been to jail or anything like that.
Almost.
You know? Almost.
Later on in your
no, with
years?
some prank calls. Yeah, some prank calls that went wrong. You know, where I pretended I was my friend was giving my girlfriend a home abortion. I talk about that.
It's awful. I love it.
It is all, but no,
so a little excerpt up from it.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it was a telemarketer calling, and you know they're so desperate for a sale. So we said we got to see if we can get a reaction out of them. Will I stay on the phone? So when the woman picked up, it was a telemarketer trying to sell me something. My friend was there with my ex-girlfriend, and she was screaming in the background. He goes, "What's going on?" I go, "I'm just my friend's giving my girlfriend a home abortion," and she stays on the phone. She's like, "Should I call back?" I go, "Nah, don't worry about it. Just keep going." That's all that's going on, and it gets a little crazy. But it just shows you how desperate a telemarketer is. Like, she actually believed it.
Well, yeah, she called the cops on you.
Yeah, she called the cops. The cops came, they knocked down my door because they thought there was a woman bleeding in my apartment.
So, I mean, I'm sure this book is all true, but when the 2 cops came, there was an older cop and a younger cop, and you said the younger cop took you aside and said, you know, "You're Jim Florentine, I know your comedy." I mean, that happened to you a couple times. With like security, do they really let you go? Like you get out of trouble? Because that's
because it wasn't that big of a deal. Like it wasn't like I broke the law or anything like that. So the old guy was, you know, he was screaming, and the young guy took me aside. He goes, "Dude," he goes, "I know I'm a big fan of yours. I hear you on Howard Stern and Crank Anchors." He goes, "You know, I'll talk to him." He goes, "But you have any of those CDs? Can you hook me up with some Crank Anchor CDs?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got them in the car." He's like, "All right." And then he went over and he talked to the guy. He goes, So I got out of it like that, but it wasn't anything that I would have went to jail for.
Well, what about when they had the ambulance came? Like, doesn't it cost taxpayers money? Did they get mad, charge you for all that?
No, they didn't
You know
charge
what I
me for
mean?
that, but yeah.
All right.
They thought the one was bleeding, so they had the ambulance and EMS workers show at my house. You know, but no, they didn't charge me that. But they did say, like, if the ambulance hit somebody,
Yeah.
because they're doing like 70 miles an hour down the road, if they ever like hit somebody and killed somebody, like I'd be responsible. And I'm like, you know, look, the lady believed it was. We're just good actors on the phone.
People used to care. Maybe now, you know, changed a little. And then, do you still have the ticket still framed?
Yes, I have it framed in my office, the ticket, yeah. I've just, you know, had to go to court and I was facing 6 months in jail over it, you know.
Do you think you'd survive in jail, or do you think you'll get butt raped by a large inmate?
Well, I don't know. I'd probably get butt raped, but I don't know how I'd get out of it.
Become someone's bitch?
No, because then you still have to do it, you know what I mean?
True.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to figure that out.
Back into finding your vision.
At
your
some
dream.
point, I just realized, you know, like 23, 24, I got to get my shit together and do something. I was just working shitty jobs and trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And then, you know, I always wanted to do something musically, but I just didn't have the talent for it. But I wanted to be on stage somehow as DJing, like a rock DJ. And then when I saw like stand up and I saw like Andrew Dice Clay and Sam Kinison bring like a rock star, like Kinison used to come out with a band, like all like metal guys and shit. I'm like, man, that's awesome. I want to do something like that. So then when I went on stage, I was like, this is what I want to do. After the first time I knew it, I'm like, all right, this is it. I'm just going to focus on this.
You're friends with Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah.
I just saw him recently. How was that show?
He's amazing. Yeah, he's you know, and he inspired me to get on stage when I saw him with the leather jacket up there. And then I, you know, wound up meeting him. We became friends. So it was great. He's been great with me. You know, I love listening to advice from someone that's been in the business a while.
Yeah.
I like to pass it down to other comics, and everybody should be doing that, whether in the music business or whatever. Go, these are the mistakes you could make, and he's always guided me with that stuff, which has been great.
What's the best advice you got from Andrew Dice Clay, or any comedian that you want to hand down to comedians watching?
Wear a condom.
Okay, seriously.
Yeah, pull out.
Yeah,
pull out. If she says she's on the pill, she's
Not on
probably
her
not.
back.
If she's on birth control, she's probably not.
All right.
You know, I don't know what happened. The pill didn't work all of a sudden, so you went on the market. You know, one of
What
those.
piece of advice did Andrew Dice Clay give you
What did he
that
give me?
really changed your life?
You know, basically don't care what any other people think. You know what I mean? Comics are always going to be jealous of you. Whatever business you're in, whatever job you have, other people are going to be jealous of you. If you're doing it better or you're higher up, you can't worry about that, because if you want to move up, you're always, at every level, people are going to be jealous of you. So if you're worrying at a low level about it, what happens if you get on a TV show or whatever like that? So every level is going to be a problem. You can't worry about those people. You know, just don't even bother with them. And then another time when I got divorced, he just said, hey, you got to take care of your son. That's your most important thing. Take care of that boy. And he did it with his kids when he got divorced. He's like, he basically was just barely doing comedy because he had to raise his kids. And he's like, that's the most important thing. And the kids are amazing. They're in a band now, both still rebel, and they're great kids. And so I, learned from that. You know, and then when he came to my wedding, he came to my wedding, and he just came over to me. He goes, look, I know that this is a special day for you. I'm really happy that you're here and you got a beautiful wife, and I'm happy to, be a part of it. He goes, but just know, one day she's gonna hate your guts. And I was great, and I let it go. I'm not ruining you then,
That's great advice for any industry.
Yeah.
All right, so you're living with Jim Norton. Tell me about that. I know you write a lot about it, but do you ever look at your girlfriend's feet? You know, if you were living together?
No, I don't. Maybe he did, and I didn't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I actually, he'd always look. My girlfriend was walking around barefoot. He was like, oh, I think I lost my contacts. And he's looking down. I'm like, I didn't even know you wore contacts. She goes, yeah, I just started yesterday, so I never thought about that. No, Jim's a great guy. We started comedy. I started a little before him. We've been friends ever since. And we, we were roommates. We didn't have a lot of money, making a lot of money doing comedy. So we, lived with me and another, my girlfriend at the time, split the rent, and just worked our ass off. And he's a great dude. That I'm happy for him. He's had some amazing success, and he works his ass off, and I love that about him.
So they had day jobs, and you were home.
Yeah.
And that's when you started picking up, like, you were there to pick up the telemarketers.
Yeah, well, the telemarketers, going back to my childhood, making prank calls, and then I would, you know, as a comic, you work at night, and I didn't have much going on during the day, so I'd wait for telemarketers to call, and I would just mess them. I'd try to keep them on the phone as long as possible, because I had nothing else going on.
So, kind of tell us, I mean, you write it in your book, but you just tell, you know, everyone out there watching, kind of, when was it when you figured out that this is what you want to do with comedy? So you had Don Jameson over.
Yeah.
You thought it was funny, and it grew from there. Like,
Yeah.
Can you kind of go into that?
Well, Don, I say in the book about Don Don was a big prank phone call fan, like back with the Jerky Boys and stuff like that. And you know, I told him, like, yeah, I'm messing with these telemarketers. That's what I'm doing. He goes, well, put me on three-way. I want to hear this. And I put him on three. He goes, dude, you got to start recording. You're onto something. This is gold. People are gonna love this shit. So I'm like, all right, I didn't know. And then it, you know, morphed into a whole career. So. How
did you meet Gary from Florida? I love this guy. It's the most vulgar things I've ever read, but it's funny as hell.
Gary's a frequent guest on my podcast, and he's living in Florida. And well, he's got a girlfriend now, but he was single for a long time. He would date a lot of women. You know, he's 45, 47 years old, and he would date women at like 50 to 60, whatever, and just go on dates with them. There's always crazy people. The craziest people live in Florida. So he'd always hook up with these crazy women and have these crazy stories. And I'm like, he'd be an amazing guest on a podcast. I've known him since high school.
Sure.
And,
okay, so you're friends with him. I thought maybe you met him at a show.
No, I'm friends with him. I've known him since high
stalker.
school. Yeah, and he just tells these funny stories, and they're all true. And just going on dates with these crazy Florida women, you know. And I'm like, this guy's perfect. So I put a bunch of excerpts of his craziness in the book, you know, just to you know, break it up a little bit.
Did you ever tag team with him?
Yeah. 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 Well, you know, that's what you did.
Did you feed him spaghetti?
No, I didn't feed him spaghetti. But...
All right. What's your favorite prank that you can remember?
Probably the thing I talked about earlier with the signing is the fresh ground pepper. When the guy comes around the restaurant, the fresh ground pepper, I make him put it on for like 35 minutes. And when it gets to the point where there's that much pepper on the shit, you can't see it, I just flip it over and make him start on the other side.
So you just do that to make the joke? You don't even eat your food?
I'll eat it too, but it's really spicy.
Yeah.
You got it, you got it.
All right, so, I mean, we're going to talk about that metal show because that's where I first heard of you.
I actually, I do a couple little stories in the beginning of each chapter, like how I got on Crank Anchors, and that metal show was a show on VH1 Classic that we were on. It was a heavy metal talk show. It was like the Tonight Show for AC/DC fans, if you're not familiar with the show. Yeah, so we just, Eddie Trunk was one of the hosts, and he had a connection at VH1, and he said, hey, we want to do a talk show with just like hard rock and heavy metal guys. Basically, the bands that started on the Sunset Strip here. And we did one pilot episode, and we were on for, 7 years and 130 episodes.
Did you ever pull a prank on Eddie Trunk, and what was it?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're always busting balls with Eddie, me and Don, and I'm trying to, well, I know, like, people always ask, is that metal show coming back, and you really...
Say no.
But the people control all that. Like,
better.
But people, the talent on a show really has no control over it. It's like, if someone works for a corporation, they get fired, right? Work for a big corporation, they go, look, we got to let you go. Your friends can't go, hey, you were really good working at that company, just show up back at work on Monday. Just tell them, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't work like, and that's how TV is too. So you really have no say. Once it's gone, it's gone. They, so whenever people ask, is it coming back? I go, email Eddie Trunk, because he has details.
Awesome.
They do it on Twitter, and I'm like, so what about Netflix? Like, no one ever thought about that. I'm like, yeah, Eddie, we'll talk to Eddie. So I always, Jim said to come up to you about that metal show. Yeah.
I thought it was real.
No, I'm always just messing with Eddie, because Eddie gets the brunt of it.
Sure.
So I always say, just when you see Eddie Trunk next, ask him about that metal show, because he knows, I'm not sure, but he's in the loop because he owns the show, so he gets it all.
That's a really good idea, though, to get it on Netflix. I mean...
No, it's not.
Well, do your friends ever give you shit for giving them shit? They ever tell you just to shut the fuck up, or get mad at you, or...
Yeah, people get mad, but I usually know, like, as a comic, I know if I'm picking on somebody in the crowd, I know when I should back off.
Sure.
You kind of can feel it out, so if someone's getting mad, I know when to back off. I can feel out the situation. I'm like, all right, maybe I pushed it a little too far, but I'm not too brutal. And I hang with a close circle of friends, and we're all like that. So we all give it to each other, but it's all in a loving way. It's a weird way of showing affection, is busting balls, you know what I mean? Like, that's just the way we do it. We'll be there for each other no matter what. They don't do some shit. But if you're wearing a bad sweater, you're going to hear it for an hour. This is the way it is.
You're were busting my balls a little bit last night. And
well, all right.
I was getting a little tired of it, but then
Raquel's using. She goes, we got to get this on social. I'm like, what's social? Social media. I go, why couldn't you just say media after that? Like, is it that much longer? Like, are we in a rush that you just had to cut it? And you said it twice, so I was just like, I just don't. You could say it all.
Yeah,
now do you say
never selfie.
Now for Instagram, do you say Insta instead of? You got to put on Insta.
I say IG. That's even worse. Oh no! All right.
Wait, you say IG and I'll
Sometimes
say Instagram at the same time. We'll see what's quicker. 1, 2, 3.
IG.
Instagram. Same exact time. So you're not saving any time.
They both
Usually
sound
when you abbreviate,
ridiculous.
you're like, okay, I just want to cut corners to get to it. So it's the exact same time.
Why do you think people do that? Is it the millennials?
No, that's been around for a long time.
I actually find it.
No, because even with that metal show, people call it TMS. Yeah. I know, because you want to say that metal show, because what's TMS? It sounds like, isn't that the thing with the jaw, where you the lockjaw shit?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I wanted you to, when you were talking during the interview, during your book suit event about Dunsies, you have that whole little section about, yeah, that's a good one, and it's kind of offensive. How can you bring that one up?
I don't know, I was just skipping around the book. Dunsies is when, what is it? Yeah, when you just say, I just finished baking the cookies, I'm Dunsies, instead of saying I'm done.
Who's the football player that beat his wife, or was it a...
Oh, Ray Rice. Yeah. Yeah, no, I put an example in there, yeah.
That's so bad.
Is it bad?
I don't know.
See, you live in, you're too LA.
So sensitive, you have a little...
You know what I mean? Because you live in LA, you think that everything's so sad. People can't take a joke. People can take a joke.
Sure.
That's why I said on my book sign, I go, I'm in the spot where this is like, ground zero for politically correctness. But everywhere else, people are like, hey, they're just living their lives. They understand it's a joke. If we're going to start taking jokes out of everything, it's going to be a problem. Like, no one's going to have a sense of humor anymore, and everyone's going to be walking on eggshells. We shouldn't be like that,
And that's what, getting to the end of your book, you explain that. So during the book, maybe, I don't know, I was like, damn, it's a little upsetting, but then at the end, we should be able to laugh at ourselves and just take life a little lighter.
Yeah.
So I really like
Look, a
the
comic's
whole
main
premise.
goal is to pick apart, like, the observational humor. Get an observation and pick it apart. That's what a comic does. So that's our job, to basically like see something and go, wait a minute, I don't agree with that, and figure out an angle where they can make it funny. So that's what we do. But then people are like, wait a minute, I do that too. Oh shit, you know what I mean? But whatever. But that's you try to relate to the crowd, and they go, oh my god, I do that. I'm guilty of that too. Ha ha ha, like that. Like to make it. Yeah, not mean spirited in a way, but just pick it apart. But like niceness never works. Like when you talk about like a relationship on stage, or tension is always funny.
Yes.
If I say, hey, me and my girlfriend, I surprised her, we took a walk in the park, and I took her to a favorite restaurant, the place we met, we first met, and she was so surprised, and we got a nice romantic table, nobody's gonna laugh at that. Nobody, you know what I mean? The crowd's like, oh, but we don't want, as a comic, you don't want that, but if you talk about the tension, you know what I mean? That's where it's funny. You just, you take chances, and you pick out something that bothers you in the relationship. So I think that's where the book comes. You pick out tension, and you try to make it funny.
Do you think that is?
There's enough niceness everywhere.
That's
you know what I mean? So
we don't want enough niceness.
Yeah, so there's got to be an outlet for people to just laugh, go, thank God, you know what I mean? Because everyone everywhere has to walk on eggshells in their job, everything else. They're afraid to say anything. Oh my God, I can't post this. What if I say this? Who am I going to offend? If I said, I can't believe they got allergies. Oh my God, this woman that has allergies, I can't believe my son's got allergy. So they come to a comedy club and they read the book. They go, thank God, I can finally laugh.
Do you think that is the key ingredient to your success?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it is. I mean, just, you find your audience, and just play to them. It's like a band, You can't, Slayer doesn't write an album that's trying to get on the radio.
Sure.
You know what I mean? They go, we get a nice fan base, and this is what they like, and let me just do that. They're not trying to appeal to everybody, because as soon as you try to appeal to everybody, you're just compromising, and you're just going to be middle of the road. You're just going to be mediocre. Everybody's not going to like whatever you do, whether you're a band, whether you're, a comic or whatever like that. So just play to whoever likes you. You know what I mean? You can't worry about the other people.
That's great advice.
Yeah, so that's what I do in my book. So it's not for everyone. Someone's going to pick this up and go, oh my God, this is horrible. But then other people are going to love it. I'm not worrying about the person that's going to say it's horrible. Yeah. Like, that doesn't bother me. I don't expect you to get it. I'm not going to be upset if some woman goes, I was reading this book, it was, oh my God, it was so offensive. Yeah, okay, yeah.
You had mentioned something, is there a TV series, or did I mishear it during during the book event. Someone asked, you said like Luke, there might be a show.
No.
Any shows in the works? No.
No, I
Okay.
wish. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
no.
that'd be good. If anyone's watching.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Jim
Yeah.
Florentine TV show.
Yeah.
What's next? What do you got coming up?
I just got to go to the airport.
No, like with
Oh.
just more. Yeah.
Well, I gotta
Don't
return
bust my balls on
no,
my
I gotta,
own show.
I gotta return to rent a car first. I gotta return to rent a car, then go to the airport.
All right, Jim. You've been awesome. I'm cutting
No,
it
no,
out.
I don't know. I just do stand up. That's my full time gig.
I don't know how to react after.
I'm just a wise ass. But no, but I'm just
Yeah,
doing
you are.
stand up. You know,
Okay.
on the road. That's my main gig. And then, you know.
What about your Vegas show? Because we can make it out to Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas. I'm there at the end of March, 30,
Okay.
31 at this place called Top Golf. They have a comedy club there. So, you know, and I'm out in LA a lot doing shows. So.
And you can find out all about Jim's tour on his website, jimflorentine.com. Make sure to pick up the book.
And on IG, I'm Jim Florentine.
Thank you so much. You're watching Rockin Raquel.